What is up, everybody? I figured I would just go ahead and quickly make a video. It is April 17th, and I have one more week until I am leaving for my surgery with Dr. Santucci. And I'm outside at my girlfriend's place. But basically, I just wanted to talk a little bit about how things are looking, how things are going, where I'm currently at, and everything like that. And the short answer is things are going. I am all scheduled, I am all booked, I have my flight, I have my hotels, I know where I'm staying, I've already done my labs, and right now I'm just really just waiting to fly out this week so that I can go to my surgery. Of course, I will show you guys how all of that looks. Right now, and my beard is kind of doing a lot of crazy nonsense right now, honestly. And I apologize for any of the car noises that you guys can hear right now. I'm outside, so there's really not much I can do about that. But yeah, I'm just vibing. In terms of mental capacity, like emotional state, I'm good, but I am mostly just anxious to kind of have it done and over with so that it can't be like stolen. if that makes sense. Like right now I'm just really worried that I'll like get out there and they'll be like, oh yeah, like we can't do it, we gotta reschedule. Or getting out there and for whatever reason, like finding out that one of my arms isn't a good candidate, or they're like, yeah, actually we gotta use your leg, and I haven't done any kind of electrolysis or laser hair removal for any of that. So those are the things that I'm really, really concerned with. Outside of that, I am all set. My lab work came back really good. I stopped smoking 30 days ago, as I was told to. I take edibles. I was using Delta 8 anyways, so that's not a problem. So I just switched the form of how I was taking Delta 8. So instead of doing a vape, I just use like edibles now, which is fine. I called them and they told me that was okay. I can do that for as long as I want. Even after surgery, that's fine. Not that I'm going to, because from what I've heard from other people, it feels a lot like when you're high after top surgery, and that felt hella fucking weird. So I'm not planning to do that for a little bit until after surgery. But yeah, I'm just ready for it, honestly, at this point. Classes are going well. I should be done with all my schoolwork before my surgery, so that's great, except for maybe one class right now. That one's giving me some issues, but it should be over and done with. What else? Just kind of wanted to give you guys a quick update, because I know it's been a while since I've been on here to tell you guys how things are going. Still doing RFF, still going to Dr. Santucci. Insurance covered everything so far, or they've approved it, I should say, so that's good. But yeah, this will be the first time that I've ever been kind of far away from home by myself for such an extended period, not including college, of course, and even then I went to college in state, so I wasn't really that far away from home. But it's just good to, you know, kind of like have a month to myself to just live and exist, and just focus on myself and how I'm feeling and making sure that I'm getting right. And I think it's just going to be a break that's not only well earned but well needed. Very, very well needed break. And then I come back for school and I will officially start my Masters of Exercise program. And then I will finish up my MBA that following fall. And so just everything's kind of in line and in order. It's just a matter of, actually doing it and making sure it gets done and having patience in getting it done. So there's that. So one thing I can go a little bit further in depth on, if any of you guys are planning on getting surgery done in Texas, with the Crane Center or any other place, honestly, and if your insurance covers it, Brookdale Living is a kind of like what's known as a skilled nursing facility, which is a little bit different from senior living as well as like hospice care. Skilled nursing facilities are catered specifically to really just anyone who needs a skilled nurse to take care of them. They do at-home stuff, so you can have them come to your house or wherever you're staying. Originally, that's what I was going to do. I was going to stay at an Airbnb, and then I was going to have them come to me. However, it's just going to be easier to actually stay at their living facility and have them take care of me there until I feel well enough to leave and go to my Airbnb that's scheduled. So yeah, that's where I am right now with that. I highly suggest checking them out. They are a pretty popular place for trans patients, specifically in Austin, who work with the Crane Center. They're very well known for working with Crane Center patients. I never really knew anything about them until someone mentioned them, and it's been really good going so far with that. And I will be having, if anybody is still confused, I did do a lot of flip-flopping back and forth on whether I wanted to have a vaginectomy or not. And it was very, very difficult process to kind of decide on which one I'm going to do. And maybe it might not be very difficult for other people who maybe had no interest in any such nature of their lower natal organs, but for some of us who weren't very dysphoric about them, it can be a very hard decision, because you don't on some hands, maybe you do enjoy those organs, or maybe you don't enjoy those organs, but you don't want to do more to your body than you need to. I don't want to say unnecessary, because they're not, unnecessary. They're definitely necessary. So just doing more to your body than maybe you may want to. And I was on that fence of both of those things. So it was very, very difficult to decide what exactly I wanted to do. But eventually, after doing a little bit more research and taking into account the increase in complication rates, and this can be different for other people, I do not have the financial stability to hope that I will not have any complications by having a vaginectomy with urethral lengthening. So I'm gonna just stick with what I originally planned, because I planned it for a reason, which is to have my vaginectomy and still do my UL. And so then, ooh, a ladybug, good luck. And so I just really am hoping, sorry, easily distracted. But I just really didn't want to bring more possible complications onto me, considering that A, I'm gonna be in Texas by myself, B, I'm gonna be nearly broke from all of this anyways. And then C, I just wasn't sure if it was going to be worth it in the end for me, because I'm not sure how much use I'm going to have with my original original natal organs, just because, you know, after phalloplasty there can be some rearranging of the way things are. It may not feel the same way afterwards. It could lead to more atrophy, or atrophy, however you want to say it. And so I just felt like it wouldn't be worth it. And at one point I also was going back and forth on whether I wanted to have UL as well, because that also came with complications. And so I ended up, after going down a tunnel of trying to find out, well, if I can just get it redirected just a little bit higher, which is possible. They can have it redirected to be in between your phallus and your scrotum, and that little section like right here, or they can leave it underneath your scrotum. And so what you can also choose to do is you can choose to actually go with UL, and then they can actually always redirect it. They can always disconnect that UL and have it redirected somewhere else if it ends up becoming too much of a complication. But what they don't like to do a lot is to have it directed one way. So if you started with having it redirected in between your scrotum and your phallus, they don't want to, unless it's part of the surgery staged already, they don't want to go back in at a later date and, you know, completely undo all of the scar tissue that just was created and healed up and then put in, you know, urethroplasty. So I'm just gonna go with urethroplasty. UL, do it, and worst case scenario, I have it redirected at a later date. But I don't think that's going to be an issue because I just have really good healing. So that was another thing that I really kind of was going back and forth on, that I eventually solved. And this all is taking like several weeks at a time. These aren't things that like I researched and kind of just thought of at one point. Another thing that I started doing a lot more, which I don't know why people don't suggest it, is as I've gotten farther and more in depth into my education as a exercise science major and just learning more about anatomy in general, I really value more of the academic journals. Personal experience, I believe, have their place, but I think when it comes to deciding a lot of things, at least in my case, I really like to rely on scientific data. So I used a lot of things like PubMed or the National Institution for Health. I used a lot of their actual academic journals to kind of decide, like closer to where I am now, which of the different parts of phalloplasty that I really wanted. Like at one point I didn't even know that you can have what's known as a shaft only phalloplasty, and it is probably one of the least complicated surgeries of them all. So if you think that you can't have phalloplasty for a variety of different reasons, check out just shaft phalloplasty. It may not be exactly everything that you want, but it's some of the things, and it's probably also the least expensive and probably the one that's most likely covered by insurance and has the least amount of complications. I didn't say no complications, it has the least amount of complications. But yeah, right now it's a lot of let go, trust the universe, trust myself that I put in enough work and I've been good about my health and everything like that, which I've been somewhat okay with. But yeah, but yeah, that's all I have to say. If you guys have any other questions, please let me know. Drop them in the comment section down below. Any questions for my doctors, definitely let me know, because I have a ton of questions that I'm going to be asking them at my pre-op this Friday, actually. I think. Yeah, this Friday. So that'll be really crazy, really insane. But yeah, we're 9 days and counting. Hit the like button, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification button so you guys can stay up to date on when I post videos. I know it's been a while since I've said that. But yeah, I will keep you guys up to date. As you guys know, it is your boy Matt Turner. I hope you guys have a great morning, evening, day, or night, wherever you are. And I'll see you later.